Hey, I'm Joe with RevZilla, and today we're taking a look at the Oxford Heaterz EVO Heated Grips, available at RevZilla.com. So Oxford got started in Oxfordshire, England in 1973, and they're one of the largest suppliers of motorcycle accessories, riding gear, luggage in the industry. So what we have here are heated grips aimed to keep your hands warm on those cold rides. They come in around 140 bucks, and of course, if you do find them for less elsewhere, RevZilla has a price match policy in place to match that best price that you could find. So what we have here are universal fit heated grips designed for motorcycles with 12-volt electrical systems and 7/8" handlebars, which is pretty much the industry standard at this point. But if you do have a cruiser that has a 1-inch handlebar, Oxford has a set of grips called the Heaterz Premium Cruiser Grips. They don't quite have as many features as these, but they come in around $100, and they do work with those 1-inch handlebars that we discussed. But as far as the EVO goes here, we have a few different options up here on the table I'll describe to you. So over here on the right, I have the Sport, then we have the Adventure, and the Touring grips here, and the ATV. So the main difference between the three motorcycle specific ones is really just the style of the grip and the length of the grip. So don't feel that you need to use the Adventure grip on an adventure bike or the Sport on a sport bike. You could check the dimensions on the website. They're just a little bit different in length, and the grip pattern, of course, you could choose for your preference. Now, the ATV, of course, is a little bit different because ATVs have a thumb throttle instead of a twist throttle. So what Oxford did for the ATV riders is include a thumb warmer to put on the ATV to keep your thumb warm while you're staying on the gas. But other than that, they're technically the same. So what's unique about the EVO series is that they've included new technology in these grips called thermistors, which really work like the thermostat in your house. So they will sense the temperature that the grip is at versus what you want it to be at, and it will increase or decrease the voltage to the grip to match that temperature. So this is really useful because this is a problem I really didn't know that heated grips have, but on my Tiger I have the OEM heated grips, and if I do ride for any period of time in cold weather and I take my hand off the grip, that one grip with no hand on it gets ice cold just from the wind chill, the wind blast that's hitting it. So when you go to put your hand back on those grips, they're ice cold and take a while to warm back up. Not with the EVO. So the EVO series will notice that that grip needs a little bit more heat to it, and it will put more power to that grip, maintaining that temperature, which I think is a great feature. Now, when it comes to controlling it, you can see the controller here in the center has 5 LEDs and just a simple up and down button here to bring the temperature up and down as desired. So what I wanted to do when we put these on our Tenere 700 was test the temperature listed on the controller versus what the grips were actually at. So I used an infrared thermometer to test the temperature to compare it to the controller, and I found that it was really accurate within 1 or 2 degrees, which I really thought was cool. So from off to 95 degrees, which is the lowest setting, only took about 3 minutes. And then to the highest setting of 115 degrees only took about 5 minutes. So I know when I'm getting ready for a cold weather ride, by the time I get my jacket and gloves and helmet and everything together while the bike is running, a few minutes have passed. So with that, these grips will be nice and warmed up by the time you take off. Also, 115 degrees is plenty hot, so you will feel these through heavy riding gloves in the winter. Another cool feature about the controller itself is that it has a built-in battery save mode. So what this does is that if you turn your motorcycle off, the grips will sense that they're on and drawing the battery down. So it'll get to 13.5 volts, and it'll put the grips into battery save mode, protecting your battery from being completely discharged. It's not a fun thing. You know, back in the old days with heated grips, if you left them on, you would come out to a dead bike and you wouldn't be able to go anywhere after that. So these protect you from that. Also, what that does is aid in installation. So now these do not need any kind of other connection to a switched power feed on the motorcycle. All you need to do is wire these to the positive and negative lead on the motorcycle, and then the controller itself will make sure it monitors whether the bike is running or off. So it really helps with installation. Now, I found with installation, it only took me about 20 to 25 minutes to put these on our T7. If you've changed grips on a motorcycle before, getting the grips on the bike is really not that much different. The only thing to consider there is that with the throttle tube, you want to make sure that that throttle tube is nice and smooth. Some bikes do have ribs or grooves or anything like that, you know, on there. So you want to make sure that that's nice and smooth so the grip can slide on. Now, you know, they do include grip glue, so you just want to be really mindful of the position of the grips when you go to put them on, because they do have these wires coming off. So there's little arrow indicators on here. You'll see in the instructions that those arrows should be pointing straight down once they're installed on the motorcycle to keep the wires from interfering with your clutch, brake, and throttle. But just be mindful that when you do put the grip glue on, Just commit. Just get them all the way on the bike. If you stop halfway, there's a good chance they might get stuck. Also, you want to make sure you protect the paint on the motorcycle. You don't want to get any grip glue on your paint. But otherwise, all the connectors are nice waterproof connectors that thread together. Nice heavy-duty silicone wiring that is not impacted by cold temperature. They stay nice and flexible in cold temperature. And for the mounting the controller itself, they include a nice bracket. So this bracket itself will attach to your clutch perch, keeping the controller nice and close to your left hand so it's easy to access and change the temperature as you ride. So overall, I was really impressed with the performance, the installation, and of course even the price. You know, I think that Oxford really knocked it out of the park with their new generation of heated grips. But if you'd like to see what other riders have to say about them, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. And as always, if you have any questions about these or anything else you see on our website, give our Gear Geeks a shout at 877-792-9455 or shoot an email to cs@RevZilla.com. Thanks for watching our video today about the Oxford Heaterz EVO Heated Grips. I'm Joe, and I'll see you next time.